Hello, everyone. I'm back again. This is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations, and I did a demo robe, or this evening I did a demo robe, and I wanted to just tell you how you can make a robe out of 4 yards of fabric with a scarf. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so if you have, what I did was I had 2 yards of fabric, 2 yards of the blue, which is an African blue, and 2 yards of this white. It's a nice, soft white fabric I got right here. So I know some people think it takes a lot of fabric and it takes a lot of work to make a robe. Well, tonight I'm going to show you some trade secrets on how to make a robe out of 4 yards of fabric. It could be 4 yards of the same fabric or 2 yards of two different fabrics that complement each other. So first of all, this particular fabric that I have here is a nice blue African fabric, and it's about 45 inches long. Okay, so what I did was I took the fabric and I looked at the design. Normally, I would want the design to go crossways, but because this design has lines in it, I went and did it long ways. So I took the fabric, folded the fabric in two halves, and then I made a front. And out of the white, I did the same way, but in the front, I had one panel and another panel, and then in the back here, show it, turn it around. In the back, I didn't split it in half. I kept it together, and what I'm gonna do here is it's just prepped, but I'm gonna double fold this and make a nice pleat going all the way down the back for the robe. It was a little bit left, so I don't throw anything away. So I made this little something right here. I might put a African cross or something on the back of it, and that's the top part of the back. This is actually the back of the robe. Remember, 2 yards of fabric, cut in half. Now I didn't go all the way down, so I had some fabric left. When I took the fabric and turned it long ways, it was much longer than a robe would be for any person over 6'5". So I had some excess left. That excess, I could still come back with the white and do a little trim on the sleeve of the robe. So there was still fabric left, even with 2 yards of fabric. Now I'm gonna turn it back around. And the little fabric I had left here, I made a little scarf, and I can come back later and I can embroidery a white cross on this, or it could be used as a belt. Now the trick with African fabric, even if you cut the fabric at the same time and it looks like it's going the same way, for some reason the fabric won't line up. Meaning that if you cut the fabric together, see how this fabric is right here? And see how I have all this excess tucked under here? I cut it off the same piece of cloth, but for some reason it didn't line up. So that's because they have a different metric system of how they cut and lay out the fabric. However, every fabric has a beat or a tempo, which means that if you lay it out, step back like I'm doing, hang it on the wall, use a loose stitch at first. So if you have to take anytime I make something, I do a big loose stitch, the biggest stitch you can make. So if you got to take it apart, it's not going to drive you nuts with all those baby stitches. And sometimes you can pull one stitch and pull it already out, and sometimes you just can snip it with the scissors and pull it out. But back to my point. When you make a robe out of an African fabric, and it has a lot of designs in it, step back from the fabric, look at the design, and see it's lining up. Now today, unfortunately, there's a lot of fabric, a lot of designs. People wear clothes and they don't even know that they're not lined up. Back in the day, old school days, everything had to line up and it had to meet But when you're getting something couture, or you want to get a designer look or a designer finish, or if you want to demand the pay that you deserve for speaking or teaching in a specially made garment, you want it to be lined up. So what I'm saying is, go back to the fabric, look at the fabric. These are my two icons here that I'm constantly looking at to see where they are. Is it over here? Is it over here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? So those are my focal points. These here are like your warrior symbols right here. So when I put it together, I want to make sure I adjust the fabric to make sure that it lines up. So when you take your pictures and everything, it don't look lopsided. Now, I did my 4 yards. I still had a little bit left. So I took that and I made these nice big clergy-like sleeves. Now, this particular robe is a large robe. Robes are not actually fitted. So you can see right here with a large robe, it can fit multiple sizes and still you can still pull it off. What you can do, if this person is a lot smaller, you can flute this up on the sleeve and make it look like a little cuff here. You can put it like that. You can self make your own shoulder pad, and you can pull that up to make that sleeve a lot shorter. Of course, you can always hem the sleeve and make it shorter, and you can make the sleeves a little bit thinner. But robes are supposed to be oversized. It's supposed to flow when the person is wearing it. Like I said, the scarf could be double on the side, or it can be worn as a belt if it's like Catholic style. Now, to finish off the robe, you can put buttons or you can put a zipper. The zipper can be almost to the end, but it doesn't have to go all the way to the end. It could be even 12 to 18 inches away from the floor. And it's a zipper that can be hidden inside. And you can zip the robe up. You can also have a zipper and still have buttons that you don't actually have to button. Meaning that you put the button on, but you don't have to actually button it. You can have like the button and the zipper underneath if you want to make another type of finish. The neckline can have a collar or it can be straight. See the neckline right here? You can put a facing in it. You can put a facing in it, or you can put a collar in it. And this can be turned back on either side. Okay? So usually ministers get very warm because they're preaching, they're coming from the Spirit. Some of them don't like a collar because it just makes them warmer. So I wanted to show you how to make a robe with 4 yards of fabric with the minimum. All you need so far in this is 1 stitch, which is a straight stitch. So even if you are a beginner and you want to turn 4 yards into a fortune, because that's what it would be. Remember, we're on our topic this week about 10Xing. What should a robe cost? A minimum robe, if you're just trying to give it away, should be $125. Okay? You can buy 4 nice yards of fabric and stay under $30. And you can more than 5 times your money. Okay? Now, when you start adding the bells and whistles, which means you can add some type of hardware on the robe. You can do slits on the side. You can do pockets on the side. You can embellish the scarf with the cross. You can do some nice hardware on the zipper. The same robe can go up to $300 to $400 to $500. Nice garment bag, nice hanger, nice hardware, press well. Whenever you do a robe, don't just give it to them and ball it up. Press the robe really well. Get your nice steam iron. Press the robe with steam more so than with heat. And you can basically do this on a very, very small budget. And again, you can do your demos. You can do your demos, meaning that your robes are prep. You finish one, they're prep, and this is your line for this year. And this is how you can 10x that, because once a person gets a robe from you, they're gonna want another robe from you, because they know how your robe look. They know how your robe fit. It's a loose fit. You do a loose hem. It's unisex. It can be for a man or a woman. And they're gonna say, "Is it machine washable?" Yes, it is. But why? If you get a robe, take it to the cleaners. Make sure your robe stays nice and fresh. Okay? So this here is a knockout. Look at this. Look at this. 4 yards of fabric. 4 yards of fabric, and you have something that nobody else have. You can sell this to, maybe somebody just got into the ministry. Maybe someone is giving a speech. Maybe they just want to just say, "Hey, thank you for being a blessing to me in my life. All the sermons you've given to me in life." And you can gift a robe to someone. So I'm here to tell you that you can do it with 4 yards of fabric, four of your favorite yards. Look, you have one key fabric, and then you have a very simple accessory that can go with that fabric. Now, I chose this fabric because if you look really close, it's got some kind of like texture in it. Now, I chose this because it's lightweight, it's hot, it's. I mean, even if you're in the air conditioner, you're going to be sweating. Person starts singing, and so forth. This particular robe I'm making for a male in Jacksonville, Florida, and he's a choir director. So he wanted a blue and white robe that would be lightweight, that he can go and take his choir and just have energy, showing his, all the music that they've learned over the summer. So like I said, when I'm showing you something, I'm showing you something that is working for me. And if it's working for me, it can work for you. This is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations. Give the girl a like, a subscribe, and share, because I'm taking you to the next level with your handcraft. This is sewing with one stitch. Now, when you go back, you can finish the stitches off with a zigzag stitch. You can serge the stitch, or you can do a seam binding on the stitch. But this here, I'm telling you, is a way to get up and get your prices higher. And then when you sell them, then it'll be just like a plus. Or if you're going to go somewhere, you can wear one. Now, you can actually take this robe here and you can turn it into a dress too. It doesn't have to be a speaking robe. You can come in and cinch this in, and you can make this dress more fitted. You can make it an A-line. You can take it and you can A-line it out, and you can make it into a dress. So you got the best of both worlds. You can make you some swing coat dresses with a few yards of fabric, or you're making robe. Now, of course, if you make a robe, you're going to be higher on the food chain of how much you can charge. If you're doing a broadcloth and you're doing something like this as a dress, you won't probably get as much money as a dress. But something that could be worn over and over and over, several occasions, doesn't matter if they have on the same robe, it's a winner. Again, this is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations. I'm showing you how to make a robe. And last night we talked about these hats. Remember these hats? We talked about these hats, and they're already starting to bite on them. We had some women come in today. Be back next week. I'll get them from you. Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations. Like, subscribe, and share. How to make a robe with 4 yards of fabric and some left over. Bye-bye.